Hello, Ingrams. So 20th anniversary is coming up, and they're celebrating it on October 10th. And Christine emailed me and asked me to write a little something. Well, I'm kind of a video guy, so I figured I would just do a short video instead of writing. My handwriting stinks anyways, so I wanted to make it a little more personable. So anyways, this is really for you guys. If you guys choose to show this on the 10th, that's your prerogative, but it's really more for you guys. And so 20 years ago, wow, I was 14 years old, and I remember when you guys first came from Texas, and I remember coming and being a part of the school and the academy. I remember God calling me to the academy when I was in my junior year at Walpole High School, and it was a great time. I had a wonderful experience, wonderful time. I won a couple trophies. Oh yeah, first place for the 200-meter dash, first place for the 100-meter dash, and then of course I got the coach's award. Huh? Pretty cool, huh? I also got the principal's award, but I can't find that one. That was a real big one. I remember when Jerry gave that to me. That was pretty cool. I was pretty excited. Anyways, the biggest thing that I can say that the impact that you guys have had in my life, and you, Pastor Ingram, in my life, is a big one. You know, I remember you guys getting there, and we weren't going to church there. My parents went with Westover years ago before that, and then we had heard that a godly man had come in and taken over. So, of course, I was tagged along with my parents, and so I went with them. And I remember the stuff you guys went through in the beginning. I remember you guys coming into a multi-million-dollar debt with a gym that really was built for social purposes. And again, I'm just trying to remember here, so if I get my facts wrong, I apologize, but I'm just going off of memory. And you guys came in, you guys answered God's call and God's leading in your life, and you came to a little town called Walpole from beautiful Texas. Love Texas. It's a good place to be. And I remember stories of when you guys got here, you guys really wanted to take the church into a direction where God wanted to, and a lot of people, and unfortunately a lot of the leadership didn't. And they gave you a hard time. If I remember correctly, some of the elders, whatever, had secret meetings at night, and they shut the lights off, and they tried to counsel on how to get rid of you guys. I think someone even blocked Kim in one time, and she was trying to leave the parking lot. And I remember one time sitting in my house in Walpole, all of a sudden this news story came on, and I'm like, hey, I know that car. I know that. What's going on? And it was the old yellow. It was the yellow Cadillac. That if I'm not mistaken, I believe that your grandmother had passed away and had given you that car, and there was a big story on how you guys couldn't pay these people back that lent the money for the gym, but yet you can drive around in this fabulous looking yellow Cadillac, In hindsight, I personally think it's, I'm not trying to be insulting, but I think it's pretty humorous in hindsight. The things that some of these people did to try to get rid of you guys, and here you are 20 years later. I mean, the one thing I can say about you guys, and I haven't seen you guys in a while, last time was at Old Country Buffet, and Pastor Ingram, you had on like a Hawaiian t-shirt, man. You look like you're on vacation, and I saw you guys and y'all look good. I check out your websites, the website every once in a while, but the one thing I can say is that you guys stayed the course. You put your hand to the plow, and you went for it. And despite all the garbage and junk that you guys went through in the beginning, you stuck it out. And look where you are today. You're in a new building, and and I'm happy for you guys. I'm proud of you guys. I really am. The impact on my life, like I said before, was huge. One of the biggest things that I remember that has impacted my life, that makes me who I am today. Honestly, one of the building blocks of who I am today was Pastor Ingram. You did a series one time on spiritual authority and obeying that spiritual authority. And I remember one time I was at the mall with Mark Matanis, and on the side of the mall where Newport Creamery is a hallway, and it makes the most amazing echoes you could ever imagine. And so we opened up the doors going into the mall, and we walked down the hallway, and as we walked in, we started yelling, ah, and it echoed through the mall, We ran outside the back door, and we were laughing, we were having a good time with it, Next thing we know, the doors come flying open, and this little security guard comes running down. Hey, what are you guys doing? And he saw us, and he was kind of taken back, like, oh shoot, what did I just get myself into? You know, we looked at him. And it was shortly after some of your sermons on obeying authority. And we just looked at him and said, you know what, ma'am? And we apologize. We're just goofing around, having a good time. Promise, it won't happen again. And the guy was like shocked. He didn't know what to say. He's like, well, okay, well, just don't let it happen again. He didn't know what to say. And we got back in the car and we were talking like, you know, man, you know, we were just like, man, you can feel God's anointing. And we're just like, yeah, you can feel God's anointing. And we talked about your message that we had heard just a day or so before about obeying authority and how good it felt to obey the authority and to humble ourselves and obey even a small little security guard. And it was little things like that that happened in my life growing up, and attributing it to, you know, your messages or your personal stories when you preach. Which one thing I loved about your preaching is you always had personal stories. You tied in something with Texas, being the police force, or you always had a story somewhere that you had pulled from, and you made it real and personable and down to earth. And that's one thing that I always enjoyed about your preaching. I thought you still are, you know, a fabulous preacher. I brought that concept of that principle that you taught and that you ingrained into me as a kid, obeying spiritual authority, to now. I mean, if you were to ask any one of the people I work with, the other pastors that are over me, and I say to them, I say, you say jump, I say how high, man, or girl, woman, and I obey that to the T. And but I've always stuck to that. I will obey my authority, and I will humble myself and have a teachable spirit. And because of that, you know, I am where I am today. You know, and I know God's going to continue to take the ministry that I'm in and involved with forward. You know, but I always attribute that to me being under your ministry, me being in your church for years and listening to your preaching and seeing your leadership. And I'm proud. I'm proud to say that I had that opportunity to be a part of your legacy that you have, and that you have even to this day. I'm a result of your hard work, of your faithfulness, of your sticking your hand to the plow and moving forward. I'm a minister now. I work at a church. I oversee 2 children's ministries. I have 45 workers that are on my team that work under me, and we have 200 plus kids between the 2 churches every Sunday. And I'm there because of the principles that, you know, that you've installed in me, you and Jerry. I remember one time I cut my hair. I got a bowl cut, and I cut it really short. And I came in, and Jerry was like, "What the heck are you doing, dude? What is that all about?" And I was the oldest kid, and, you know, of course I set the example. And she had me stand up in chapel and apologize to all the kids. And you know what? I did it. You know, I remember doing the fundraisers at the school. I remember building the jail and having people run around and arresting people. And one year we had the big tent, and the first year we did that, you know, and we had bat signed by the Red Sox. And it was just such a cool time. Everyone was there together. It was just such a wonderful time, a good memory, you know, good experience. Being in that youth group and experiencing, you know, the touch of revival that we experienced with Tommy Rivers up on the front, just on the ground laughing, you know. And you know, we'd have youth group, and then I'd have my van, and all the guys would pile in there. And we did invite the girls, Kim. We always invited the girls out. We always tried to keep it equal across the plane because we were cool like that, you know. But anyways, well, I would have 10 kids in the van, and before we would drop any of the kids off, Sakio, Tebow, you know, Rivers, or Matenas, even little Ledford, if you guys remember him at all. We would pray as a group, and it was powerful. It was powerful. And being a part of that in the church with the youth group, all under your leadership, it was some of the most memorable times of God experiences that I've ever had in my life, really. You know, I still have my diploma. Kind of it fell out, but I have it. It says this is my office in my home, and I have it hanging up in my office up here. You know, you hear the old cliche. You know, you look at kids. And you're like, oh, you know, you were such a brat when you were a kid. Da da da. I'm like, wait till you become a parent. And the kids are like, whatever. It was said to me over and over again when I was young, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Now I got 3 kids, and I got 1 more on the way, and it's like, I see it. It makes sense now. Light bulbs are coming on, you know, and it's like, and it's the same thing. A lot of things that happened in the school, and a lot of things that happened at Christian Life Center, sorry, New Life Christian Center. They kind of, even to this day, a lot of things just kind of click, and you're just like, oh wow, I remember when this happened. I remember when that happened. And at the time, I may have thought it was kind of like, what the heck, what is that all about? You know, as a teenager, my mindset and my small vision. And I look at it, and it's like, wow, that's why it happened. You know, what can I do? What can I do now today to use that as a learning example to make me better, to make my walk better with God, to make me grow. It was a very important foundational time in my life being there with you guys, and I'm grateful for that big time. You know, I'm grateful for you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and the whole family. You guys have been an example. You know, you guys have been strong, and again, you set your hand to the plow and you haven't looked back. You know, and because I gotta be honest, if it was me and I came with all that stuff happening, I would have hightailed it right back to Texas. I would have put on my cowboy hat, not played the cowboy music because I don't like country music, but I'd probably put on my stirs and my boots, and I'd be back in the warm weather and palm trees and chilling with mega churches. I don't want this. I don't want no $3 million deficit that I gotta walk into. I don't want people mess with me and my family. Never mind the fact it's a more conservative state and the gun laws are, well, beautiful over there. You know, you can do all sorts of good stuff over there. It's fun. But anyway, so I credit you guys for that, and I thank you for that. 20 years, that's a long time, you know. And so, anyways, happy 20th anniversary to you, Pastor Ingram, to you, Jerry, Kim, and Christine, and to Murphy, to Chambers, Hockey Boys. I remember one time going, we got the hockey place over in Quincy, I think it was, and yeah, you guys were doing these slap shots, bro. I almost had to change my pants. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a slap shot like that before. I was dying. I thought I was gonna take my head off. Yeah. Anyways, happy 20th anniversary. You guys are great, wonderful. And keep going. Keep your eyes up. Stay focused.